These garbage bags are hiding something incredible. Fresh vegetables that I can harvest all winter long. Hey Provident gardeners, you may be wondering why I am surrounded by trash bags. Well, this is the secret to us being able to eat fresh beets all winter long. Underneath these bags is a beautiful treasure. Now, the reason we use garbage bags instead of regular mulch is because look how easy it is to lift this and then replace it back on. Look at this, beautiful, fresh beets all winter long. Now, usually this place would be covered with snow. It's January, mid-January, and our weather is freaking out. I don't know what's going on. We'll be able to harvest these beets clear through March, but it did take a little bit of work to get this ready. When it became about October, November, when it looked like we were gonna have our first hard frost, before that, I cut all the tops of the beets down so that they still had some on the top, but not a lot. There wasn't a lot of other stuff. And I weeded it really, really well. And then I put a layer of mulch on the top. The mulch serves a couple of purposes. It provides nutrients for in the spring, right? But it also helps to provide another little layer of insulation. And that's the trick, is that these beets, this soil, while the soil in the aisles is frozen solid, the soil in the beds, it's not. And once the beets have experienced real cold, they turn so much sweeter. These are Cylindra. The ones in our other bed are the round ones. These happen to be my favorite. Those are my husband's favorite. So we grow them both. It takes a little bit of prep work to be able to do this. These were actually planted in late spring. And so they've grown all season long. And then we just worked our little magic. And now we're gonna harvest beautiful full-size beets all winter long. It just doesn't get better than that. Once I've harvested my beautiful beets, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these bags and put them back on. I still have a few beets in this spot that I need to harvest, but I don't need to use them right now. But I also, if I were to leave this hole right here, it creates a cold spot for either side. So, whoops. One of the great things about doing this is that these leaves, I don't know if you can see, I have holes poked in all of these so that the water and the moisture can get in and drain out the bottom, and it's getting a jump start on my compost for next year. So I'll put these in I'll put them in either the worm bin or my compost pile, or sometimes I actually just put them in with the rabbits because rabbits love the dried leaves. So it kind of depends on my mood and what I need. So now let me take you into my kitchen and I'll show you how I make the best apple cider vinegar beets you have ever tasted. It's so cold out there. The first thing I want to do is to wash these and trim them. So I'm just going to trim the top and the little piece of the root off. You may think this is just waste, but I have both chickens and rabbits that are going to think it's amazing and would love to have that, especially in the middle of winter when they're having all that dry food. All right, now I have a whole bunch of dirty trimmed beets and we're going to head over there and wash it. The extra soil I'm returning to the garden because I love soil and it's precious. Now that the beets are all nice and washed and trimmed, we have a few different options. We could bake them, and baked beets, if you haven't tried them, are delicious, but it takes a really long time. We could boil them. I don't usually choose to boil them because I feel like a lot of the flavor just gets sucked out in the water. What I do love to do is pressure cook them. Now, because you can see this one would take maybe 30 minutes in the pressure cooker, but this one's only gonna take like 10. So I'm gonna cut them all so that they're decently even, like this. So they're all fairly even. And I'm just gonna put them in my Instant Pot. I absolutely love my Instant Pot for this. I'll put a little bit of water in the bottom, and these I'll put on for about 15 minutes, I think. Just because of the size, I think they'll be fine in 15 minutes. And then I'll let them naturally release for just a little while. And then it'll be time to pickle our beets. Oh, these are so amazing. While that's in the Instant Pot, I'm gonna mix up the brine. It's a super simple recipe. It actually calls for 1 cup water and 1 cup vinegar, but I am using some freeze-dried vegetables, so mine is going to be just a little bit different. I've accounted for that in my water. So there we go. And then the recipe calls for 1/2 cup of sugar, but I'm not really into sugar. So we add honey. And that's a beautiful thing, is you can do whatever it is that you want. So there's roughly about 1/2 cup of honey. One of the reasons why I love my freeze dryers, because this is how I store my red onions. So these are red onions that I grew, but red onions have a super short shelf life. But if I put them in my freeze dryer, I can use them all year long, actually for several years. So that's about 1 small red onion. I do the same thing with my garlic. This is my garlic, and I'll put in what's roughly about 4 cloves, a teaspoon of mustard seed, 2 bay leaves. Look how big these bay leaves are, man. Crazy. And then a couple of cloves, a teaspoon and a half of peppercorns. I like to use the different colored ones because they're fun. I actually don't know how much difference it makes in the taste, but they're just so fun to look at. And then a teaspoon of thyme and a teaspoon of oregano. And I'm just gonna mix this together. And I could have just put it directly in the pot, but I wanted you to see what I was doing. And it's easier for me to measure, like when I measure the honey, if I do it in the cup, in a clear cup, then I can just look on the side for the amounts. Okay, I love spices. That's one of the things that if you are just buying stuff at the store and not gardening, you are 100% missing out on, because there are so many beautiful spices to change the flavor of foods and just to make it so much more exciting. Okay, in the pan, and I am going to bring this to a boil and then just let it set on the stove and simmer and steep until the beets are done. We'll be back. All right, the beets are done. So now all I have to do is slip the skins. And the pressure cooker makes it so easy to peel these. It's really just not a big deal. And we'll feed these to the rabbits and the bunnies. And I wear gloves because, quite frankly, beets are a really good dye. And if I don't want my hands to be red for the next 24 hours, it's a good time to wear gloves. All right, I did rinse these just to make sure that I didn't miss any of the skins. And you can do this however you want, but I like the slices, because if I'm putting them on my salad, that's what I like. Beets are so incredibly beautiful, and they are so delicious. If you haven't tried beets, you really should. You can just Google health benefits of beets, and you will be amazed at the health benefits that are out there just by eating this super simple, easy crop to grow. Okay, this is about the right amount for this recipe. I'm gonna take the rest of these, cut them up and put them in the fridge to be able to use in other recipes. But I wanted to show you something that I think is incredibly amazing. This is from 4 Jars. I love their lids, but the thing that I really love is their funnels. So there's 2 of them. This one's the narrow mouth for canning, right? This is intended for canning, but it has this little strainer that goes right on top like that. Oh, it makes my life so much easier. Because now what I'm gonna do, this has been steeping, right? I brought it to a boil and it's just been steeping. And I don't really want all those chunks of those beautiful spices in there. You could, but I prefer not to. So this just made it super easy to strain all of this out. And then I'm just gonna pour this over the top. Look at these beautiful, amazing beets. It's January 17th and we're still getting fresh food from our garden in zone 6. And it's all because in the fall, we took a few steps. We cut off the tops, we weeded the bed, we put a little bit of compost mulch on it, and then we covered it with big black bags of dried leaves that protected them so that even though it's been way down at below freezing, we're still harvesting and enjoying these amazing beets. I would love to hear what you're doing to make sure that you're still harvesting from your garden when the snow flies. Comment below and share your great recipes. And don't be afraid to get a little bit of dirt under your fingernails or turn them red with beet juice and turn that dirt into dinner.